Hey guys, and welcome to our final days of Toys R Us, both a location in Toms River, New Jersey, on Route 37 on Hooper Boulevard, and one of the ones in Freehold by the Freehold Raceway Mall in New Jersey as well. I got Hunter here.
Hello.
We're going to talk about, the closing of the Toys R Us. This has taken over the course of about 3 days. 2 days in the Hooper one and 1 in the Freehold, and you'll be able to see the difference between the two. The one in Hooper on Freehold was relatively new. So, as you can see here, it was pretty sweeped out as far as the back section where they used to have clearance, used to have the smart baby toys, like the leapfrog and all that stuff. The whole entire bike section, obviously, those are all hot items. It was up to 50 to 70% off mostly, but this is back where they did the clearance, and this was the saddest, as you can see.
It was very weird that they were selling their office supplies. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. It was very eerie.
We had 2 great losses in our town of Toms River, and they hit pretty hard. It was Sears and Toys R Us, and Sears pretty much went out the same way, where they sold their office supplies, the racks that all of the products were held on. It was pretty insane. So this is the Smart Baby section where they used to have all the books. Disgusting to have in a Toys R Us. Literature. And Ooze and Barf as well, right there. Ooze Bath.
It was Ooze Bath.
Ooze Bath right next to the books and all the educational books. And this used to be, that used to be where the Ripsticks were. But here's me being brave and walking back into the employees only section.
It was very weird that you could just kind of walk anywhere in the store, even though they had it roped off. It's like they don't really care at a certain point, as long as they just kind of want to get out of there. You just saw Michael could walk right in the stock room and walk past all the barriers. They don't care.
It was sad. It was sad to see that they didn't care.
The weirdest part, I think, about this was, modern companies, they really rely on a lot of online sales. So a store closing isn't really that big of a thing for them, even though it's a pretty big thing. You'll notice that the sales aren't really like, they're not anything special. They're not anything that
they're not liquidation sales.
Yeah.
They're not like 80 to 90%. Most of the stuff is 50% off. And Star Wars stuff too, that really doesn't sell. You go in Target and Walmart, you see these products don't really sell that much. The Star Wars license has been thrown around these past few years. You can go in Five and Below in the dollar store and get like Star Wars toys and stuff, but it's just an example. Like here, 60% off for Marvel. The
only sale they had, which you'll see coming up in a minute, that was very kind of, it reminded me more of a closing store sale, was the video games and the amiibos. Just kind of the electronics in general had, was it 70% off?
Yeah.
But as I said, it's not like they really care anymore about making these sales crazy, because they know that they still have that online market that is still going to come to them. They are in a lot of debt, so they should have at least marked these down a little bit more, because there's not much they can do in terms of online sales anymore, because, think about the last time you saw a Toys R Us ad anywhere.
It was probably Jeffrey the giraffe. We're getting towards the Skylanders and Pop figure stuff. You'll notice the Funko Pop stuff in GameStop and other dying markets. That's where they turn to, is the collectibles. Minions, obviously.
I never understood the whole Funko Pop thing.
It's still like Beanie Babies, another,
It's a gift you get someone when you don't know what to get them.
I think this was on sale. I almost asked if I could take that home, that Nintendo Switch, the preview, like the demo unit, and there's all these amiibos that were wiped out. The only thing that was left was like
Villager.
Yeah, Villager and Tom Nook. All Animal Crossing stuff, 3-pack. KK Slider. But yeah, the video game section was pretty wiped out. It was 50 to 70% off plus. But all the good stuff was pretty much gone, as you would expect from something that has, video games they sell pretty fast when they get put on sale. So anyone who was looking for a deal probably had this in their sights, saw that they were liquidating and came in, picked it up, especially, when they do like 50% off even a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. You're going to have someone, running in and snacking it up. So, yeah.
All they had left were like, very
Just
basic
Dance.
games like Just Dance, Call of Duty, stuff that you don't really pay money for anymore.
And a lot of kids'
That
games,
makes sense.
obviously.
Yeah.
And movies, too, as you can see. Does this say baller? Happy learning. R-Zone. This is my favorite part. So this reminds me of the Kmart that's right down the road from this. I went Black Friday shopping 2 years ago. And even then, so imagine how bad the Kmart is now, that you go into the back electronics section and they had, that same display up where it's very antiquated looking, but it was the Xbox controller, not the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One, the original, the Duke, the black, thick Xbox controller, the original Halo controller. So, yeah. It's
Toys R
pretty
Us
bad.
has become very dated.
Well, yeah, obviously, they're not around anymore. There's rumors of them coming back as a seasonal thing, kind of like Spirit Halloween stores. But yeah, that was the Hooper Boulevard Toys R Us, right across from a Babies R Us.
Isn't it Hooper Avenue?
Hooper Avenue. So I don't know if Babies R Us is there anymore.
Babies R Us closed, and there's actually a big Spirit Halloween in there.
So this is the entrance walkway of the one in Freehold. So this one was nice and new, as you can see. Look, that's all modern, flat design. And you walk out, it's an entirely glass, front structure to the building. This is many different businesses from before. It's right in front of a very popular large mall. The Freehold Raceway Mall by us is pretty big and pretty active. So this is the inside of that. You can see they have some Monopoly, giant elaborate designs and different advertisements. The movie,
I feel like all of their headers and advertisements for their sections were.
look at that, that's so cool.
Even though
in the
a lot
story,
of them were modern.
what do you think that was? You think you go in and it's like a bunch of movie screens surrounding you or something?
I doubt it. Even with this store, it's all
it's all empty. It's pretty empty. They had more office supplies out in the front. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
It's sad.
Spider-Man 2.
It's weird
Spider-Man 2
seeing
toys? Spider-Man
all
2
of these
2004?
Going out of business. Oh, it's just hanging by a thread.
Hanging by a thread. So that was the Toys R Us from Hooper Boulevard. Or not Hooper Boulevard. That's the Toys R Us from Freehold. The more popular, newer one. So yeah, both of those, is pretty sad to see them go. But they're gone.
Rest in peace, Toys R Us.
You are my favorite store.
I think they got so dated and they stopped advertising. Even, I understand they were in loads of debt, so they couldn't really afford to advertise, but the fact that there was nothing, not even in like a newspaper or on social media, there was nothing.
It's exactly like what happened with Sears. If you had a Sears that was around you, I know they still have some more in the Midwest, but they're phasing out.
Gone.
Yeah, like a lot of the mall outlet stores, all that stuff, they're all phasing out. So if you were by a shopping mall or anything like that, you understand.
I was very sad to see Sears go. I thought that they were always like a good like little discount kind of thing. They had clothes, they had appliances, they had everything. I like going there for clothes and shoes because they were always a little bit cheaper. It's just a wholesome store. And I'm very sad that they're gone.
RIP. Now we're all gonna submit to the Amazon overlord.
All the Toys R Us kids aren't kids.
Yeah, they're not kids anymore.
And then they
Now
also can't afford that much.
Now they just go to the iPad store. Yeah. What do kids, I guess Walmart and Target and stuff like that have big enough toy sections where it is enough for anything that you can't get off, online.
Yeah.
You go in, they have like huge board game sections and toy sections, and they have the electronics, and there's no original Xbox controller on the wall because they still have to sell other things like TVs, so that part has to look current and modern.
I feel like the toy, they give little kids like iPads to shut them up, but I think the toy revolution, I think we're kind of phasing past the whole like throw a screen in front of your kid thing, because more people are realizing like, hey, it's a little bit messed up. So I think like the creative play toys are coming back, and it's less about here's an action figure and an iPad, and more like here's something that's gonna work your brain. It's also like fun,
Here's
like
a
at my
Rubik's
job
Cube.
we sell like kits and stuff, and like make your own DIY something, or like make your own action figure, or make your own thing, and you learn while you're doing it. I think the whole screen thing is kind of outdated, but I think that places like Toys R Us and Sears were just trying to hop on that screen bandwagon too late and just wasting their time because they were too outdated anyway.
Yeah.
To sell it.
Yeah.
Like, look at the R-Zone. It was so ugly.
It was very ugly. I still wish I got that Switch display, though. Yeah, they had like a whole drone section they used to have there, too.
Yeah.
With all like those cheap off-brand drones. I don't know, it's just weird. I guess we really don't need a store just dedicated to toys anymore. No FEO Schwartz, no Toys R Us. It's been a while since FEO Schwartz has gone out of business, and that was a pretty popular New York store. To go to the FEO Schwartz, go on the giant, you ever see the giant keyboard that they jump on in the big, that was there. And they had a whole bunch of different stuff there. It's a huge multi-story toy store.
The company still exists.
Yeah, I know. I've seen they brand,
They
generic
sell,
toys and stuff like
kits
that.
and toys, but they don't, exist.
Yeah, it's like Hess, where they sell branded.
No
they sell the
need to fear. The Hess truck's here.
Yeah. So
That
they sell
hasn't been around in a while.
No, I just saw it. It's Christmas time now, so they have all that stuff on the TV.
When's the last time someone bought a Hess truck?
Obviously, not too long ago, because they still have.
Oh, they'll never stop.
Well, yeah, because there's collectors and stuff probably for that.
Hess isn't even a company anymore.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, it's a brand. They put it on toys and trucks, and that's another thing that's probably highly collectible is
Hess trucks.
Is the Hess truck. So they're probably not going to stop with that until the value drops and people start selling their Hess truck memorabilia,
like Beanie Babies,
like Funko Pops. Like Funko Pops.
I don't think Funko Pops will ever rise in value. I know there's.
Do you think they'll ever fall in value?
Well, yeah, because I know that at my job we have some of the rare ones from like the new Harry Potter things, and they're more expensive than the other ones, and I'm like, wow, these are going to drop price in a month when nobody buys them.
Yeah.
Because they're, no offense to Funko Pop, they're the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're pretty ugly.
And they're they're not good gifts. They don't look good anywhere. They don't look good.
They don't. I think the fun of going into, a GameStop or a Think Geek and looking at the Funko Pop section is seeing how they messed up your favorite licensed brand character.
They did Jar Jar Binks.
And it's the scariest looking thing.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, they must pay so much in licensing and stuff like that if the prices were ever to fall, it would just, I don't know, they must be making a lot of money because there's so many out there. And they're pretty popular.
They're like, again, they're the gift you get for somebody when you don't know them that well.
But then again, you have to know what they like.
Yeah, but people are very obvious about that stuff.
I guess they talk about like The Walking Dead or on the water cooler at work, and then you get them like, I don't even know any character. Daryl.
I think
from The Walking Dead, you get them the Funko Pop for that.
They're like, oh, thanks, man. I'm just gonna put this somewhere.
I think the funny ones are the ones that, other companies try to make. Like Disney always does this, where they make like Pusheen or, Doki Doki or whatever, these like little Japanese style versions of their characters in like vinyl. And I think the funniest one I saw was Big Feet, where it was just their characters, but they had big feet and they were little plush dolls.
I saw that. That
of
was
Mickey
weird.
and Minnie and Pluto, and they just had big feet.
I like the Disney, what is it, Tsum Tsum?
Tsum
Tsum.
Yeah.
I think they're cute.
Yeah.
They didn't make them ugly. Like the Funko Pops are so ugly. I don't know. That's why these stores like Toys R Us have an entire shelf of them fully stocked when they're going out of business.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to buy them. And I know they keep making them, but like,
Yeah.
the supply and demand is not there.
Well, maybe I'll spend a video going over my entire wall of Funko Pops that I have, just reviewing them. So, yeah, we're almost halfway over what the video actually was. Double. So, this is BRRRAAAAPcast.